Welcome back to Street Smarts, the podcast where we explore the world of street photography one frame at a time. I'm Spiros.
And I'm Manolis.
And we are just going to jump back into part 2 of the episode we were talking about before with the street photographers that defined the genre before the year 2000.
I'm so excited because they are one of my favorite photographers in there. So
in part 1, we walked through the early masters. From the poetic lens of Kertész to the raw realism of Takuma Nakahira.
And we saw Bresson, we
saw all those grandmasters that we all study and we all admire.
Gary
Winogrand, and all through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. And today we're going to start presenting photographers from the 70s onwards. So we're going to talk about the color revolution and the conceptual turn. We're going to talk about flash photographers. We're going to talk about fringe, the photographers of the fringe, meaning the ones that were in between at the very precipice of when photography started to change. And we're going to go all the way up to 2000.
2000, yeah.
Would you like to start, Manolis?
Yeah. Saul Leiter, mostly active in the 50s to the 70s, recognized later. Though he worked in color before it was fashionable, Leiter's recognition came decades later. His dreamy, painterly compositions shot through windows and veils of fog in New York gave color a new emotional vocabulary. His work blends street with abstraction and feels more like poetry than reportage. He's now considered a pioneer of color in street photography.
Willam Eggleston, mostly active in the 70s up until the 90s. Often credited with legitimizing color photography as an art form, Eggleston focused on the mundane in the American South. His pioneering dye transfer prints turned everyday objects and ordinary scenes into cinematic masterpieces. Eggleston's work wasn't about decisive moments, it was about quiet presence, about color itself being the subject. He changed the language of street photography forever. The book for color photography, Willam Eggleston's guide. If you ever want to dive into color, this is the book to get.
This guy created a whole book by just visiting his
his neighborhood.
Seriously.
Yeah, everything's done in his hometown. I mean, the photos are fantastic. The color work is insane in this. And it's not an expensive book either. You can get this for a very good price. Willam Eggleston's guide.
Joel Meyerowitz, mostly active from the 60s to today. A key figure in legitimizing color photography, Meyerowitz roamed the streets with a 35mm lens, capturing life in full hues and subtle gestures. His series, Cape Light and Redheads, showed his lyrical take on everyday moments. He's one of the few who straddled both black and white and color with equal mastery.
Fred Herzog, mostly active from the 50s to the 80s. A pioneer of color street photography in Vancouver, Herzog used Kodachrome slides to document working class life with depth and vibrancy. His images of neon signs, thrift shops and pedestrians feels timeless. Though he went unrecognized for years, his archive proves how color could render realism without losing poetry. Fred Herzog has a very nice book called Modern Color, and because he used to shoot with Kodachrome, you can see the quality of the color of his photos. I mean, the color is, look at this. Look at this. Look at this here. Look. Fantastic. Right?
Yeah.
Fred Herzog, as we said before, he worked in Vancouver. And he only worked in color. Really nice work. Let me show you one more. There's maybe his early work was black and white. Here. Some color. So yeah, Fred Herzog, modern color.
Luigi Guirri, mostly active in the 70s to 90s, an Italian photographer who turned the ordinary into surreal compositions. Guirri's pastel tones and quiet landscapes redefined the possibilities of color. His work straddled street, landscape, and conceptual photography. Through signage, reflections, and minimalism, he challenged viewers to reconsider what they thought they knew.
Martin Parr, mostly active from the 1980s to today. Known for his saturated colors and biting humor, Parr holds a mirror up to society, warts and all. Whether on beaches, at supermarkets, or royal events, his close-up style exposes the absurdity in the everyday. He's being called a satirist with a camera, offering a brutal but brilliant look at modern life.
Tom Wood, mostly active in the 1970s to 1990s. Known as the 40 Man, Wood photographed Liverpool's people for decades. His color work is warm, intimate, and gritty, capturing bus rides, nightclubs, and football fans. His eye for composition and color rhythm makes his images deeply human.
Paul Trevor, mostly active in the 70s and the 80s, a social documentary photographer working largely in East London, Trevor captured working-class life with empathy and precision. His work bridges street and documentary photography, often focusing on children and communities in transition.
Michael Schmidt, mostly active in the 70s to the 90s. A German photographer whose somber grays and frontal compositions critiqued modern urban life. His project, Waffenruhe, examined Berlin before the wall came down. Not quite street in the traditional sense, but deeply rooted in public space and observation.
Barbara Klemm, mostly active from the 70s to 2000. A photojournalist for Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, Klemm captured key political and cultural moments in Germany. Her street images are full of tension, awareness, and quiet drama. She stood in the right place at the right time consistently.
Raghubir Singh, mostly active in the 70s to the 90s. A pioneer of color in Indian street photography, Singh combined Western aesthetics with Indian sensibility. He portrayed chaotic, vibrant street life with dignity and layered composition. His use of color was not just aesthetic, it was political.
Shahidul Alam, mostly active from the 1980s to today. A Bangladeshi photographer, teacher and activist, Alam used street photography as a tool for social justice. His images challenged stereotypes of the global south and center local voices. He also created platforms for others, founding Pathshala and Drik Picture Library.
Nikos Economopoulos, mostly active from the 80s to today. A Greek magnum photographer whose work captures the Mediterranean and Balkans with intimacy and mystery. His photos are fluid, intuitive, and deeply human. A street documentary hybrid with lyrical power.
David Allen Harvey, mostly active from the 70s to 2000s. Harvey's work blends street, travel, and editorial with vibrant color and sensual energy. From Latin America to New York, he captures the pulse of life with curiosity. He also mentored many through Burn magazine, influencing a whole generation.
Eugene Richards, mostly active from the 70s to 2000s, blurring the line between photojournalism and street, Richards focused on social issues in the United States. His raw, emotional work dives deep into poverty, addiction, and marginalization. Every frame is political and poetic.
Now we're going to move on to the next section, which is about fringe, flash, and final frames.
Yeah.
So it's from the 80s to the 2000s. And here we have a mixture of talented photographers that really affected photography on different levels. And this is why it's an interesting category. You'll see different types of shooters here. They all have their own unique style, and that's the reason why they became so well known as well, because of their unique perspectives.
And there are many photographers that have also inspired us, right?
Yeah.
In this category. I mean, all of them have inspired us, but yeah. Well, I will give you the honor to speak about your favorite photographer.
Yes, my favorite photographer is Mark Cohen, mostly active from the 70s to the 1990s. Cohen's tight crops and flashlit fragments of small-town Pennsylvania feel intrusive, but they're poetic. He called his style intrusion photography, often framing limbs, torsos, and gestures without faces. He disrupted traditional ideas of framing and consent.
Bruce Gilden, mostly active from the 70s to today, known for his confrontational flash and extreme close-ups, Gilden captured New York with grit and nerve. Some critics call him exploitative, others call him fearless. Either way, his style is instantly recognizable.
I've also got a book of Bruce Gilden, Lost and Found. This is the French edition, actually, because it was given to me when I was in France. But I don't mind, because all I care about are the photos, and I speak a little bit of French, so it's fine. And it's got some really insane shots of Gilden, not so well known. I mean, that's why it's called Lost and Found.
Yeah.
They're not what you would typically expect from him.
He's known for his flash photography, but this book is amazing.
Yes,
and
he
barely uses flash.
I know, and he's got nice compositions, insane stories. It's a really nice book. Alex Webb, mostly active from the 70s until today. A master of complex compositions and vibrant color, Webb's photos burst with layers and juxtapositions. His work in Latin America and the Caribbean is saturated in heat and mood. He captures street life as a chaotic theater. I've also got a book from Alex Webb. I've got actually quite a few, but my favorite one is this one. It's called Dislocations. And it's got lots of his... look at this.
Wow.
Yeah, let's show them.
Yeah. And maybe...
It's not only from Latin America, it's also from the US, from Europe, from Istanbul. It's got many photos of Alex Webb here that are worth looking at. So if you have time, you should check this out as well. It's a really cool book.
Vivian Maier, mostly active in the 50s till the 70s, discovered posthumously. A nanny by profession, Maier took over 150,000 photos in secret. Her medium format black and white work captures American cities with grace and wit. Though unknown during her lifetime, she's now a cult figure, her work standing alongside the greats.
Bill Cunningham, mostly active from the 70s to the 2010s, the original fashion street photographer. On his bicycle, Cunningham chronicled New York style with joy and discipline. His candids of ordinary and extraordinary outfits are not just fashion, they're sociological time capsules.
Trent Parke, mostly active from the 90s to today, the only Australian member of Magnum, Parke's high-contrast black and white street photography is cinematic and emotive. His series, Dream Life, transforms Sydney's daily life into a visual opera. He explores memory, light, and personal mythology. And he's one of my favorite photographers. And I know a really crazy story about this dreamy street photo that he has taken with the bus and the shadows, that he was going there for like months.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was picking up his son, I guess, from
From school.
From school, yeah. And he was always seeing this place. And one day he captured it. But he was going there for like...
months and months.
I think, yeah.
I didn't know that story. Philip-Lorca diCorsia, mostly active from the 80s to 2000s. Blending documentary and fiction, diCorsia's staged street scenes feel both real and surreal. His use of lighting and positioning gives street photography a theatrical edge. He challenges the idea of candidness.
Boogie, aka Vladimir Meyerowitz, mostly active from the late 90s to today. Known for his stark black and white photography of gangs, addicts, and street life. Boogie's work from Belgrade to Brooklyn is unfiltered and deeply immersive. He walks the line between documentary and danger.
I've got one of his books called Awado Dem, which is photographs from Kingston, Jamaica, from the gangs. It's an insane book. It was sent to me by the publishing company for a review, and I really liked it. And his photos are really raw and gritty.
Do you have one that you liked?
It's classic.
Oh yeah, with this. Wow.
Classic Boogie, but in color. Because Boogie is mostly known for his black and white work, but his color work is also great.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Ken Schless, mostly active from the 80s to the 90s. Schless documented the Lower East Side during the gritty era, creating dark atmospheric books like Invisible City. His work captures a disappearing world, full of shadow, light and broken dreams. I've seen that book. We've seen that book together. Do you remember?
Yeah.
At the university. Very nice work. Very nice work.
Very nice one.
It is indeed very mysterious, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like it.
And before we wrap up, I want to say it's good to mention another photographer who was not a street photographer, but he literally inspired many photographers after him. Eugene Atget.
Yeah, of course.
Eugene Atget, yeah. The Frenchman.
Yeah, mostly active from the 1990s to the 1920s.
Yeah. He was a quiet man with a large wooden camera. Atget walked the streets of Paris, documenting its architecture, street vendors, and forgotten corners.
He wasn't looking for the decisive moment, but sought to preserve a vanishing world, which indeed was at the time, because the world was changing then.
Yet his work inspired the surrealists, Berenice Abbott, and eventually the street photographers we've covered in this two-part series.
Yeah. In many ways, Atget was the ghost in the machine, the one whose work quietly echoed through the decades, reminding us that photography is at its core about looking and about seeing what others ignore.
Wow. So yeah, basically that's part 2 of the photographers that shaped the genre.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the ride.
Yeah. See you in the next episode.
But before we leave, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment and share this with your friends. We'd appreciate it a lot.
And tell us which one of this is your favorite photographer.
Yeah, which one? Watch the first part as well if you missed it, and let us know in the comments below which is your favorite photographer.
Yeah.
And if we have forgotten someone, please let us know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching again, and stay sharp and keep shooting.
See you in the streets.